There's a moment most people don't notice. It doesn't feel like failure. It doesn't feel like a mistake. It actually feels comfortable. You wake up, check your phone, maybe scroll a bit longer than you planned. You go to work, do what's required, not too much, not too little. You pay your bills, maybe save a little if there's anything left. You tell yourself you'll figure things out later. And nothing is technically wrong. But somehow, years pass. And when you finally stop to look around, you realize something unsettling. You've been busy, but you haven't really moved. The problem is, most people think building wealth is about doing more hustle, more income streams, more discipline. But that's not really where things break down. Because the real issue isn't laziness, it's comfort. And not the obvious kind, not luxury or excess. I'm talking about the quiet, invisible kind of comfort that keeps your life just stable enough that you never feel forced to change. That's the trap. We tend to believe that staying where we are is the safe choice. Keep the job, stick to what you know, avoid risks. It sounds responsible. But what if that safety is actually costing you more than any risk ever could? Not immediately, not in a way you can see in your bank account this month, but over time, in years of missed growth, delayed decisions, and opportunities you never even noticed. Because comfort doesn't just keep you safe, it keeps you still. I'm Dave. I explore the psychology of money, smart financial habits, and the decisions that shape your wealth. Let's break it down, step by step. Think about this. If your life is just manageable enough, you don't feel urgency. Your salary covers your basic needs, maybe not perfectly, but enough to get by. You're not drowning, so there's no real pressure to rethink your situation. And that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Because discomfort pushes change, comfort delays it. A lot of people imagine that the biggest financial mistakes come from bad decisions, investing in the wrong thing, spending too much, taking on debt. And yes, those matter. But there's a quieter mistake that almost nobody talks about. Doing nothing for too long. Staying in a situation that feels okay, but isn't actually moving you forward. And over time, that becomes incredibly expensive.
Let me explain it in a way that's easy to miss. Imagine two people. One of them starts improving their financial life early. Not perfectly, not aggressively. Just small changes. Learning new skills, increasing their income slowly, saving consistently even if it's not a lot. The other person waits. Not because they're careless, but because things feel fine. They tell themselves, I'll start when I earn more, or I just need to get through this phase first. 5 years pass, then 10, and suddenly the gap between them isn't small anymore. It's massive. Not because one person worked harder every day, but because one person started earlier and the other stayed comfortable. There's something important happening here psychologically. As humans, we are wired to avoid pain, not to chase growth. If your current life isn't painful enough, your brain doesn't see a reason to change it, even if you logically know you should. That's why people stay in jobs they've outgrown, why they delay learning new skills, why they avoid thinking deeply about money until something forces them to. Because growth requires temporary discomfort, and comfort convinces you that discomfort is unnecessary. But here's where it gets interesting. Comfort doesn't just delay action, it slowly reshapes your standards. What once felt temporary starts to feel normal. The job you said you'd leave in 2 years becomes 5. The income you planned to increase stays the same. The goals you once cared about start to fade into the background, not because you gave up, but because you adapted. Humans are incredibly good at adapting, even to situations that are quietly limiting them. And over time, something else happens. You stop seeing certain opportunities altogether. Not because they disappear, but because your environment and your mindset filters them out. If you're used to earning a certain amount, thinking a certain way, living within a certain routine, Anything outside of that starts to feel unrealistic, even if it's not.